right, everybody, welcome to Grown Folks. Shut up, the Grown Folks talking with your boy, Dougie Fresh Kids, a.k.a. Bread Bunny. We got a big show for you today. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. Just don't wake up, play, talk, and get ready for some Grown Folks. Are y'all ready to go? Let's do this. So what is going on, everybody? How's everybody's morning going? I hope it's going good. Hope you got your coffee. Hope you're living large and in charge. Hope work ain't kicking your butt. Man, I know it's supposed to be summer over here in my neck of the woods, but it's cold as hell, man. I still got to keep my heat on for some reason. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, we're chilling, man. We're about ready to do this stream. So we need y'all to, do the normal thing.
Wake the hell up. Drop your cock and grab your socks. It's time to rock. And shut up when grown folks is talking, sucker. So grab your coffee and sit back. Cause we're about to blow your mind.
Man, Dougie, you ain't blowing shit. You crazy as hell.
Oh, you crazy. I'm just messing with you, man.
It's all good. I'm in a good mood. We got grown folk vibes going on. We got all kinds of things to talk about. I did get my packages in the mail, so that's great. We're going to be checking that out. So I hope everybody's happy about the NBA playoffs. That's what's really got me messed up is last night there was some bad calls and my boys lost 3 in a row. It's giving me I'm going to say, remember the Red Wings when they had won 3 straight, then they went on to lose 4? I can remember that time because I remember it because I was in jail. Yeah, I was in the county jail, Osceola County Jail. And during that time, there was a fella. I like to call people fellas, especially when I don't like them. But there was this piece of shit in there, and he wanted to watch some other stupid shit, like probably, I'm not saying wrestling, but more than likely it was probably wrestling because the Red Wings were down 3 and it was, they had won 3 and they had lost like 3 straight and it was like game 7. So they needed this win. And this guy, he's like, oh, I called the TV a long time ago. We're about to argue about it. I'm on my way to prison, so I don't give a shit. So this had to have been right around 99 because I first went through the bubble in 99. So yeah, it was right around 99 because I remember exactly. I said, oh yeah? Is that how you feel, bro? You want to do like that? You don't want me to watch the Red Wings game? You want to watch this shit? I went up to the damn TV because we was kind of like, there's cells like 19, 20, and 21. Well, I was in 19. The TV's, not behind anything. It's just up bolted to the damn wall, and then it's got a cord down to a plug. I just grabbed the cord and yanked as hard as I could and pulled the cord right out of the damn TV. And that was like, now what? Now what the hell you gonna watch? So, I just kind of stuffed it back in there. Snitches get stitches. They were whispering, hey, wait for the guard to come in. We'll tell her. Because, if you don't tell nobody, we can say the motherfucker just broke. But nah, that ain't what happened. They knew I was going out anyway. So they gave me a ticket, made me pay like $250 for that small-ass, stupid-ass TV. When I got to prison, they put a note on my shit. So I was in 7 block, just doing my time, waiting to get out, get where I was going. And I got this ticket that's following me. So there, at some point, I wake up and everybody in the whole 7 block is banging on their thing saying, we will rock you. And mind you, it's 4 tiers high of nothing but 6x9s. Then there's a catwalk, and then you can see people around right in front of you, because you got your neighbors across the road, east side, west side, whatever it was. But yeah, so what happened, the screws came by and started handing out tickets. Like, here, 7 days loss of privileges for inciting a riot or whatever they tried to charge me with. I was like, I ain't signing that. What, are you crazy or something? I was sleeping. I woke up to it. He says, no, I seen you from up in the rafters up there, doing whatever. And I was like, no, what you're doing is you're trying to fuck with me because I'm a fish. And if you're a fish in prison, and you don't learn to swim, you will drown. Trust me. So I basically ended up signing it and then had to stay in for 7 days. But that wasn't the gist of it. It was like I didn't feel like having to go through all the problem, and I didn't care about going outside that much. I just cared about getting where I was going because I knew that there was a high probability, since it wasn't a violent crime, it was drug related, that they would let me have boot camp, which they did, but I did have to have a judge's signature. So what happened was, from Jackson, I went to a joint called Carson City. And when I was at Carson City, it was pretty laid back. I would say Carson City is probably one of the better penitentiaries. I was in the pole barns, but before you go, you're kind of what's called, you're in the fish bowl, and you're not supposed to leave that fish bowl. And me, man, I'd scoot around, go over to there's a rec thing right next door to it. I'd be in there playing pool, you know what I mean? And not doing, not even knowing that I wasn't even supposed to. So I'm over there hustling people in that block, playing pool. I'm decent at pool. I wouldn't say I'm great, but I was better than them that day. It was one of my better days of playing pool. I can honestly tell you that, because I had ran the table a couple of times on a couple people. And then I think that I got too kind of, you guys are not allowed to go over there. Well, nobody told me, so, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, that whole thing, it followed me. They made sure they put that right on the old front page of my file. Yep, he owes 200 for it. The man destroyed county property by pulling out this cord. They really couldn't do anything to me in jail because I was leaving in like a day or two. So I signed that ticket, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, go suck it. And, the thing of it was one of the guards in there she was a really nice lady. Her name was Deb Flora. Shout out to Deb Flora. She used to date who is now in our Big Rapids, is Mike Woods, or Kevin Woods, rather. I mean, yeah, Kevin Woods is the jail administrator here in Big Rapids where I live. But, I've seen him because I've been in that jail a few times. Because when I first moved up here, I tell you, man, I was with a girl and she was just so crazy. She knew the system. Like, she knew all the little strings to pull. She had me in jail so many times, man. They'd say, like, I'll give you a for instance of one time what happened. This girl, I'm sitting next to her, and she's and we're at a friend's, and she's on her phone, and she's got some big black guy on there with his dick hanging out, and just kind of, I'm like, what the hell is that? She goes, my friend, he likes to send me dick pics. I was like, your friend likes to send you dick pics? What kind of bullshit is that? Imagine if somebody was sending me coochie pics. She's like, no, they do it all the time. See, look, I got a lot. She's got a phone full of dicks. I'm like, no, ain't no way, man. I'm messing with somebody with a phone full of dicks. And I'm like, I'm out of here. And she's like, no, don't leave. And she's kind of getting violent, and she put herself in front of the door so I couldn't get out, So I'm trying to move her out of the way. And next thing I know, I got the guy's house that it's at. He's got his arm around my neck. So in that, we're struggling around. Somebody hits the light switch and everything goes dark. So now I'm in the dark like this. Like, I don't give a shit. It's whoever comes next to me is getting it. So I just start swinging. If I hear you about, like, I don't know if you ever seen that movie when they knock on the guy's house and he's blind and he beats everybody's ass. Well, that's kind of what happened with me. I swung, knocked the shit out of one guy. I ended up hitting her mama. Bam, hit her mama. And then I finally found my way to the door and it let some light in where I could see what the hell happened. And I run down to my car. She gets in my car. I'm trying to drive the hell away, and she's throwing my car into drive. She's just a nut job. This girl was so crazy. I'm telling you, I'm not going to shout her out or say any names, but Jesus, man, that relationship was so toxic. I can't believe I made it through all that alive, because I figured one of us was going to die. But thank God I get home and nothing happens, and everything's cool. I'm like, man, screw that girl. I ain't never talking to her again. Well, she had some stuff here, purse, blah, 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 things like that. Well, she comes in, knocks on the door. She says, I need to get my purse and everything. So I'm following her, so she ain't taking shit when she's leaving. So she goes into my back room. I had her purse and shit already ready for her up in the front because you see my door is like right here. So I already had all of her shit in a pile ready. And she was like, she needed something else. And I kind of followed her. And I said, hey, wait, you don't need to go back there, whatever. And she's messing around and I don't even touch her, but we kind of like brush shoulder, like she gives me the shoulder rub and she's like, let me get by. Like I was trying to stop her from getting by. I'm like, go ahead, get your stuff, get out. And I go back to laying on the couch, man. I'm kind of hungover anyway because we were drinking a little bit. And they're outside and she's on the phone and her mom's on the phone. I'm like, what the fuck are these people doing here? So about 10 minutes later, I see the police roll up. The police come in my house, right? And they say, what happened here? I said, ain't nothing happened. She came to get her stuff. I was on the couch. She grabbed her stuff. Did you assault her? I said, no, I didn't assault her. She said that you I said, well, when we was in the hallway, she, going by, we bumped shoulders, but I didn't like hard check her or anything like that or nothing. He's like, well, why are you putting on your shoes? I said, because I got places I gotta go. He thought because I'm putting on my shoes, you're going to jail. This is how dumb the police were. I'm going to jail. So they arrested me for domestic violence. And they arrested me for domestic violence on the mom for last night because she told them what I did last night. And it wasn't even my fault. Literally, I seen dick pics. I tried to leave. She blocked me from going. Right. And in the heat of the battle, when the lights are off, I got somebody grabbing me around the neck. I'm fucking fighting. You know what I mean? I'm fighting. So she got hit in the head or whatever. So there's 2 domestics. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. Go ahead, arrest me. I don't care. I'll be out, whatever. I got my bondsman card and my wallet. That's how prepared I am. I know a bondsman. She's cool. Christine Bell Bondsman. Shout her out. If you're ever in trouble, call her. She'll get you out. So I go to jail. They book me in. I got to wait a certain amount of time, blah, blah, blah. And I call Christine. I'm out. And she ends up going to jail for some odd bullshit. So while she's in jail, she sends me through the mail an apology letter saying that she was sorry for the setup. She was just mad and frustrated that I was kicking her out, and I didn't understand that she has a lot of guy friends and they do stupid shit, and I shouldn't be worried, and that she only loves me and all this other shit. So I took the damn letter up to the prosecutor's office and I said, see, look it, this is some bullshit. This prosecutor tells me, okay, this is what I'll do. No jail time. You just pay fines and costs on one of the domestics. I'll break it down to public, where you make a nuisance in public or some public nuisance or public disorderly conduct. They dropped it down to. And I was like, that's all you can do? All this is fake and you're still going to charge me? Look, you're not going to do no jail time. All you do is pay a fine. I was like, screw it. So I didn't even see a judge or nothing. I just signed a paper, boom, 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 and had like a $500 fine. And, all they could do was I gave them $20, every month out of my check. So blah, blah, blah. That's how that kind of went down. And it wasn't until I finally paid off that money is the next time I was in jail, this is like 8 years later, and it was during COVID, and me and my new girlfriend, we are getting shit-faced wasted. I mean, wasted more than you can get. And I guess I shouldn't say, because I've told you about the hallucination story, about the time, I hallucinated. I was intubated for like 13 days because I was so wasted. But this story is a funny one because basically Beth, this is the girl that I'm with right now. We're not married, but we might as well be. But we don't have the best relationship. It's kind of like a love-hate type thing where she helps me and I help her, and we're not even like that. It's like I don't think she would care if I fell off the face of the earth because we don't even sleep in the same bed or nothing like that. So basically, she got so drunk where I was half-assed coherent, but she falls face first on the kitchen floor. Meanwhile, I had already called the police earlier in the day, but I forgot about it because she had a seizure. And then she fell again on the floor and she was unresponsive. I was trying to, see if it was a seizure. It wasn't. She was just blacked out, passed out. I didn't know. I couldn't tell if she was breathing or not because I was so highly intoxicated. And I called 911 and the police show up. And the police say, you can't ride with her in the ambulance. I'm like, well, why not? And he said, well, it's against policy, which I knew that, but I was drunk and I was going to see anyway. And somewhere in that conversation of me talking to him, he's like, hey, did you know that you can't, you're not allowed to drive. I know that you've been drinking and I do not want you to drive. I says, look, I'll drive if I want to drive, but I'll find my way. I'll get there. Don't you worry about it. And he goes back and he tells his superior, he's like, I think this guy's going to drive. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take him. And mind you, the night before I went to the hospital the night before because I wanted to try to quit drinking, and I've told you guys before, like how I was a frequent flyer at this specific hospital. I'd go in, I'd drink myself to a certain point, and then I'd wake up, I'd say, screw it. It's either go to the liquor store, get more alcohol, or go to the hospital. And I would think that going to the hospital would be the best case scenario. Get your blood work done, check and see if if your liver's fail or so you don't die, basically. And alcoholism is such a hard disease to deal with. I mean, people who don't have alcoholism, excuse me, you have no clue on what people go through of how that haunts you, because I'm one of them people that once upon a time said to myself, like, look, there ain't no way I'm gonna be like Joe Blow over here where I'm licking the floor and doing all this other weird shit, for a drink. I'll never get that bad. I'll never be that bad. But you know what? If you keep drinking, eventually you'll get there. Trust me. You'll do things that you'll regret. So the best thing to do is quit while you're ahead. And I've told that story. Remember about the guy, the kid that was born with no arms and no legs? If not, I'll tell you the story at the end. Keep watching. I want you to keep watching because this is going to be an interesting story. This is interesting stuff here. So don't forget to subscribe, comment if you'd like, but hit that like button and stay with us because I got a story that's coming up that I'm going to tell you. It's going to blow your mind. So anyway, the police, he talks to his superior, and I'm sitting there, and I got a fifth right here, and it's about, I'd say maybe about this full. And I was like, yeah, I'll get down there. If I drive, I drive. I know I'm probably not able to drive. He never gives me a sobriety test, but he says, I'll take you to the hospital. So on the way to the hospital, I'm telling him that, yeah, I was just in the hospital yesterday for being so drunk but they didn't really do anything for me. They checked all my levels. I was good to go. So I just came back home and started drinking because they didn't help me. They just kind of went, sometimes it was either hit or miss at the hospital of what they would give you or what they'd do for you. So they basically monitored me for about 4 hours and said, you know what, we ain't got the space, the time to deal with Doug today. We're just going to shoot him out. So what they did is they said, we got a cab for you, but it's going to be about an hour. And I waited out front, and they gave me some Toradol or whatever, some other stuff for pain that kind of made everything go blurry. And I couldn't see the phone numbers in front of me. So I'm asking the ladies, I'm like, I'm frustrated at this time. I can't see the numbers. I'm walking in and out, in and out. Finally, security comes, and security tells me to get the hell off the property. Like I've been too belligerent to the ladies, which understandably I probably was. I'm frustrated because I got no way home. My eyes are blurry. I can't see, and I'm drunk as hell, and I'm getting kicked off the property. So I told him, hey, I was impatient. He said, yeah, we know, we don't care. Get the hell out of here. So I ended up having to walk home. So the next day, we're drinking again, and Beth, she ends up falling flat first on her face, busts her face open, and I call an ambulance. The ambulance comes, gets her. I don't even know if she's all right, but as soon as the officer pulls into the parking lot, he's like, just go in there, sit down, and wait for him to call your name and make sure you wear your mask. I got my mask on as we're talking, but when you're drinking, you're breathing in so much acetone because that's what happens is your body turns the alcohol into acetone, and then the acetone is filtered through your liver. And that's why it destroys your liver so bad. I don't know if a lot of you knew that, but yeah, it's acetone is nail polish remover. So imagine the concentrate that our body is turning that into. So it secretes it into your liver to try to clean that, and then pushes it through our urine, and then that's how we slowly sober up. As our liver handles all those poisons and all those toxins that we're putting into our bodies. That's why you see a lot of people get red, get a bulgy nose, veins come to the top of the skin. They got that alcoholic look, and it's just terrible. It's terrible, but it's a dis-ease. It's a disease of the mind and the body. And a lot of people don't figure it out until it's too late. I've lost a lot of people along the way because of this disease, this alcoholism. And it sucks that they haven't made a way to figure it out where you can only drink so much and then you're not able to buy it, or make it stricter, or even, I don't know what they can do. But just like the Lord above, he gives us our freedom of will, and that's our own will to know how to drink responsibly. Me, I can't. I thought I was a professional, and I'm an amateur. I can't do it. There's a lot of people who I know who can drink professionally, and they just do it with ease, it seems like. I'm so shocked at how they can do it and not be sick, and just function like a high functioning alcoholic who holds down a job, raises kids, and all these other things. It's just total amazement. So he tells me, go in there, sit down, keep your mask on. And I go in there, sit down, and he goes over to the lady, and he obviously tells her, if he gives you any trouble at all, call us, and we'll come in there and grab him. He had no intentions of ever letting me stay there, because 1 minute goes by, and as soon as I pull my mask down to breathe, the lady says, sir, you need to keep your mask up. I say, look, there's nobody in the room. What's the big deal? Put my mask back on, and I swear 30 seconds go by, and here comes the security guard, right? The security guard comes, and he looks at me and says, they don't want you back there. I said, what do you mean they don't want you back here? No, you need to leave. I said, is this from what, yesterday? I mean, that was yesterday. This is a whole different day. He says, no, they don't want you back there. They don't want to deal with you, and you need to leave. And at the same time, the officer's walking in the building. So I kind of go up to him jokingly, because me and him have been joking this whole time and talking, and he's been helping me, right? So I'm thinking he's like a friend, and I could joke with him. I said, man, thank God you're here. Hold me back so I don't beat the shit out of this guy. And he says to me, put your hands behind your back. I said, what the fuck for? What did I do? He said, just put your hands behind your back now. I'm like, okay, but I don't know what the hell you arrested me for. I ain't done anything. So I put my hands behind my back, and he arrests me. Ex fights that I had with that ex that I told you about, with, her and her mom trying to hem me up for domestic, and then send me a note in the mail, a letter in the mail from jail apologizing that you set me up. And then I used that to get myself out. But the prosecuting attorney still wouldn't drop the charge. He still charged me with disorderly. So I got like 25 disorderlies. I've never did 1 day in jail for domestic violence. They've all been not guilty, or they'll drop it down to something. I'll just be, okay, move on, because I don't want to, end my thing. But yeah, a lot of girls around, you have to be careful, because some girls who are familiar with that type of lifestyle, they know how to work the police. They know how to work the system. So I'm not the only person that she's done this to. There's 1,000, and I wouldn't say thousands, but there's tens of 20s and 30 people that I know that's had to deal with the wrath of this woman. Like I said, I'm not going to name drop her. But if you could put her name in the comments and you guess it, what her name is, I know my family and friends will know. But yeah, if you can guess the name, that'd be a great one. So yeah. So moving on from that, so I go to jail. It's all done. I get my money back. I don't owe the jail any more money, so I don't have to pay them $20 for the rest of my life. And all I ask, and I know it's a redundant thing, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the Grown Folks. We got a bunch of giveaways coming up. Like I said, I got a couple of work boots. I don't know what you call it, like all one kind of boots. I got black ones and brown ones. I'm going to be giving away at 50 subscribers. So kind of run it up to 50 so we can get these giveaways going and get this channel moving along. It's growing at a good pace, and I'm happy with everything. This is my second month. Things are just crazy. I love doing YouTube because it keeps me centered. It keeps me grounded. But one thing most of all, it keeps me sober. It keeps me from going out and getting that drink, and doing stupid things like I was just in jail for, like I told you. Jail is not fun. The food there, it seems like every time I go there, it gets worse. So normally, a jail food is consistent. of, we would have 30 meals for 30 days, and then they would do that 30 meals for 30 days. So you knew, so you could mark on a calendar what you were having day 1 of 30 all the way down. Now, they don't do that. Now it's like 8 meals. That's it. They run 8, run it again, 8. They never switch it up. And it's all disgusting canteen foods and all that. And commissary is so ridiculous. I think in Big Rapids, a pack of ramen noodles, it's like $2.20. So yeah, it ain't fun. I can remember being in Jackson. Well, not in Jackson because I didn't get a chance to stay in Jackson to get store. But once I got to Carson City, I can remember noodles being 20 cents. Yeah, 20 cents back in 99 when I went through the bubble. I got a 295 number. So yeah, prison, yeah, that's a crazy situation. I don't know how it is now because like I said, I haven't been there in 20 years, and hopefully by the grace of God, I don't have to go back. And I pray for those that are there that are going through it, that they learn their lesson and they come out of prison and they try to follow society, the norms of society. And, breaking the law and hustling and stealing and robbing and doing drugs is not the way. The way is to try to rely on God to help you through life and not stealing, because some people just don't need all that. Like me, I live perfectly fine. I feel like I'm a rock star. I don't have a lot of money, but what I do, I spend it on things that I enjoy. Like I wanted to tell you all that I did get a couple of things that I'm going to unbox today on stream. So let's get to the unboxing. I think these are my hats. I did win a couple of $100 on over the weekend, so I gave half of it to my significant other because that's just how I do it. And then the other half, I bought me a couple of hats. So this is a black Detroit Tiger hat. It's fitted real nice. $59.50. What do you think of that? So I got this hat here. Here's one of them. It's just a black Detroit hat. And then I did have a piston hat, but I couldn't find it. So this, hopefully we can get back and tie the series. I got the piston. It's the NBA license. It's a $59.50. So hopefully the Pistons do better. This is how I curve my hats. I just do it myself, a little bend like that. Boom. And it's got the perfect little curve on it already. And it's not all bent up or nothing. So we're gonna wear those. I got a shirt also that I'll wear with them. But the main thing I wanted to show you today was I did get myself a new pair of kicks. See what they got going on. All right. Sweet. You guys seeing this? Seeing this nice little review? Oh, boy. They're going to see me coming in these, boy. Got me some more Vomero. The Vomero Premiums. I got to shoot them down here for you to see them. Yeah, what do you think of those? Got me another pair. These are the best tennis shoe there is. I'm telling you what. These are the number one. The number one shoe right here. Nike Vomero Premium. I can't wait to wear these today to the gym. I am pumped up and ready. These are going to be nice. Oh, yeah, we got a left one and a right one. As you can see, inside it kind of has the Vomero inside. So what makes them so special is they have not only this one here, but they got it back here as well. And they are super comfortable. I can't wait to wear these to the gym today. These are going right in my bag. Yeah, Nike Vomero Premium. And at the end of the day, they cost about $250 with taxes. $248, something like that, but worth every penny. I'd like to grow this whole thing, but before I can, I need more subscribers. So if you would like to see more stuff, more shoes, more things. So what I wanted to tell you that is, in my journey since I've been going to the gym, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, well, man, you're kind of a big fat dude. Well, I used to be a big, fat, out of shape dude. Now, I mean, I don't want to rip my shirt off and show you my bulging muscles like Hulk Hogan, but we'll wait for another day. If I get to 100 subscribers, I will definitely, I'll do a shirtless stream. But, it's always, for me, it's always a battle because I do have a big belly, from drinking beers all those years. But I do work on it, and slowly but surely I am making progress. I just got to watch what I eat, and I love to eat. So, but this is the shoe that first started everything. This was my first shoe. I don't know exactly what they call it. I think it's some type of fly. Let me see. It's got the Zoom technology. Let's see what if it says anything here. Yeah, Zoom Fly 5. So I got these on sale. They're originally like $200. I got them for like 170, something like that. But a great shoe. And I thought, hey, these will work for the gym. And you can see I put some work in them. Not a lot, but I've got a few miles on these. Nice shoe. But I was thinking, I know there's got to be a more comfortable shoe, because what I found with those is when I first started wearing them, they were super comfortable in the beginning. But as soon as that cushion wore down a little bit, they weren't great. But when I first tried them, I mean, I thought they were, the best thing since sliced bread. But what happened? So when I upgraded, I know I'm doing this twice, but it's basically for those people who didn't see it, and I can't go back and pick the thing out, and I always think I can do something better. So if you can do it better, why not just do it better than show you the old one? I made these on the Nike. It's called Design Your Own. So I designed these myself, and these are I want to say these are Invisible Run 3. Right? Isn't that what that says? Invincible. Nike Invincible Run 3. Yeah, so I designed all the silver, all the colorway, this whole silver colorway. I designed that whole thing and had them shipped to me in my own box that said designed by Douglas, and they have my initials and everything. So they were pretty cool. And like I said, they were a step above the comfort level, right? And you can see the bottoms of them, so you're thinking, okay, well, them ain't bad, Doug. Hey, that seems like a good shoe. It's got the Zoom, the Zoom X technology and everything. What's wrong with them? Why don't you just stick with these? I wore these for a long time. I bought these, and these suckers, these are viral. These you can look on TikTok. You got a lot of people who are cool dust bag, and you like orange, and the cool wrapping paper flying everywhere. It's like Christmas. So yeah, this is a cool little bag that they sent me. You could use this, to put stuff in. It's good for the gym. You can kind of wrap it right on around you or hold it like that. But it's a cool little bag. It says Nike Racing on it that it comes with, so they ain't skimping out. But on the back of these, it says pick up the pace. Pick up the pace. So pick up the pace. Yeah. And these were the highest. I mean, look at that heel right there of comfort right there. Wham. But what I was experiencing with these and why I didn't like them is they're like a slip on. So you got to slip your foot in there. And us fat people, we don't like to slip anything on. Like if you have to slip something on, that's not our thing. We're like more of a, slide in. But trying to put your foot in these when they're just now and then get this part of it over your foot, like so, was next to impossible. It would take me about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes just to put my shoes on, and I'd be done working out. So I'd go to the gym, put my shoes on, and then just leave, because I was already worked out. It was that crazy. Excuse me. So, yeah, so these Zooms, I don't know what they call these, Air Zoom Alpha 3. I think it's a 3, but they have this thing inside here that is really cool, and it's super comfortable. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a cushion in the front and a cushion in the back, and super expensive shoe. I mean, you're going to spend $300 on these by themselves. So yeah. So these go for about 300. But yeah, so if anybody likes these, and you'd like to buy them from me, I have worn, like I said, I wore them a couple times. They're still super clean. They're super fresh. You see them right now. They've just been worn to the gym. That's it. So if you like to buy these, let me know in the comments and I'll give you a good deal. Like, comment, subscribe. You never know. They might go as a giveaway. But if you'd like to buy them before I do give them away, because I'm not going to hold on to them, because like I said, I just don't like the fact that I don't like shoes you got to slip on, because you almost need a shoehorn, and they were just uncomfortable getting on. But once you got them, they're almost as comfortable as the next shoe that I'm going to tell you. I upgraded to these. Now these things right here, this is the top dog of all the shoes. There's nothing that can beat this shoe. I put this shoe up against anything and everything. Yeah, this is one heck of a shoe right here. This Vomero shoe Man, it is something else. It is unstoppable. I mean, it will increase your times and everything else. It's got a fly plate that runs through here. They got good mobility. You know, they actually have a tongue that you have to lace and tighten them up. They're just so nice of a shoe. I cannot wait to wear these. I was going to show you some other ones. I'm a huge SB fan, and I like these. These are called City of Style. I think I might have in a stream, but yeah, they have tearaway. This whole material on the shoe right here is all tearaway. So this is how I made it. I just tore away some of the blue to show some of the red on this one right here like that. And then this one, I actually tore away the swoosh and more of the red to show you, you know, how they tore away like that and showed the red. So if you see like you see how that is, how you could tear it away and some of it ain't and some of it is. So tell me what you think about my job I did on doing the whole tearaway on these Nike SBs. So yeah, that's just a nice pair. I like to wear these. These are super comfortable shoes. Any Nike SB that you get, super comfortable. Man, I can't believe I don't know what happened to my new pair of Vermeeros. So these are my new ones I just got today. I do have another pair of these somewhere in the house that I'm about ready to possibly get rid of those. But I'm deaf. So if you'd like to put a bid on for these right now, you can put a bid for these. Like I said, these are kind of a viral on TikTok. They're a size 9.5. They're a good road running shoe. We'll have to do everything through Cash App, but if you want to put a bid on and help out the channel, what I'm going to do is sell these for the highest amount that I can. So I'd like everybody to place your bid for these in the description, and the highest person, I'm going to show these throughout the week. And then next week, I'll pick a winner and I will try to find you either on Facebook, or Instagram. You just got to let me know if you're interested in buying them. Let me know how I can reach you, your address, and we'll exchange information. And you send payment, and I'll send these out. So I'm just looking for the highest person to pay the most for them. They get some same box. They're gonna get this great, nice box here. You know, if you look at it, all put together. Like I said, I've only wore these. Just don't like how they slip on. So if you're a skinnier guy, the highest bidder win. Like I said, if I don't reach what I paid for, obviously a little less than that. But if I'm getting like ridiculous offers, I will end up just giving them away on stream as a gift to my subscribers. But I do have other stuff. Be giving these boots away right here. These are some pretty hard boots. Brand new, never been worn. I got these in brown, but these will be a giveaway. I got all the boxes and everything for these. But yeah, these are brand new. They've never been worn, never had my foot in them at all. You know, they're shoes that are made by a really nice company. So if you like these and you'd like to get a pair for yourself, subscribe to my channel. And once we hit 50 subscribers, I'll be giving 2 lucky people a pair of their choice. The first place prize winner will get their choice of the brown or of the black boot. Yes, so the black boot is really dope, really nice. I got the laces inside. So yeah, so you just got to let me know what your size is and subscribe, and I'll try to get a hold of you. You know, wait till we hit 50 subscribers. I'm giving away 2 pairs of boots. So let me know if you'd like a pair yourself, and if you'd like to buy a pair, let me know your size. I do have a good connection to get them. So holla at your boy. So with that being said, I think we can get to some news. All right, I'm back. So another pair I wanted to show you guys, I don't believe I've ever showed you, is these. Look at those. Aren't those nice? These 13s, size 9.5. I like these. I hardly ever wear these, but you can tell, see, I do wear my shoes. I don't just keep them around collecting dust. But what do you think of the 13s? Would you wear them? So you know how it goes. Would you flip, drip, or skip on the 13s? Let me know how you feel about it. Do you like them? Are they okay? Tell me, do you think you would have passed on these? Especially, you know where you can get the discounts at? Get all the discounts at soullinks.com. Time to put the shades on. All right, we back. It's bread money. It's bread money time, and it's time for some news to give you the blues.
Are y'all ready for it?
Are you ready? are.
You I hope you are. So let's get it. Let's get it.
So let's go over to some news. Like I said, the Pistons have lost 3 in a row. I mean, we really got to start to root for my boys, the Detroit Pistons. You know, I might as well put that hat on now. I got 2 new hats. I love this black Detroit cap. Man, that thing is cold. It's a fitted. Yeah, buddy. So I've showed you some shoes. I've told you some stories. We're hanging out this morning early. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. And if you are, show me some love. You know what I'm saying? You got to show your boys some love so we can keep this thing going. So anyway, what I want to talk about is some stuff that's in the news lately. You know, our President Trump is he's in China right now talking with President Xi, and it looks like everything is going good so far. So good. So what? It reminds me of a Megadeth title. So far, so good. So what? What was the Megadeth title? If you know anything about that and you're a Gen Z, let me know in the comments. Tell me what album was that? So far, so good. So what? What was it called? We sold there, so I can't remember. Anyway, Chud the Builder charged with attempted murder after courthouse shooting. Boy, this guy looks like a jacked up Mario brother. Chud the Builder's problems are stacking up. The controversial streamer has now been charged in connection with Wednesday's wild shooting outside a Tennessee courthouse. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office surrounded Chud, whose real name is Dalton Etherly, was charged and booked for criminal attempted murder, employing a firearm. How do you employ a firearm? Hey, you're hired. Come here. Now shoot that sucker. Some people, they write crazily. I don't know. Maybe I'm the dumb one. During a dangerous felony, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon. Well, it looks like some serious shit. You don't normally come out of that without a little time, unless it's your first offense. Then you might get a slap on the wrist. Kind of like the Rajah Jackson situation. What do you think about that? Only get 90 days in jail and 2 years probation. Granted, the kid's never been in any type of trouble before, and he almost killed somebody. Do you think 90 days is too little, or do you think they did it just right? To me personally, I think that 90 days is a good sentence because it's his first time, and I think anytime, you know, if it's not murder, but it is assault and it's going to stay with him for the rest of his life, that's punishment alone, you know. But he obviously had a really good lawyer, and 90 days, I think I'm happy with that. I hope Stu's family's happy with that, and I hope that somewhere down the line, them two can come together and do a stream about bullying and mental health awareness, because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about, you know, we need to stop the bullying, and we need to start looking out for people with this mental health issues and all that, because a lot of people, you know, that we see that are walking around in the world, you know, they have mental health problems. I have mental health problems I deal with on a daily basis. And it gets hard for me, and it's hard to stream and deal with my mental stuff because sometimes I hear voices and sometimes they're loud. You know, when they're silent, you know, it doesn't bother me too much, but when they're like banging, like, hey, 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 it's almost like, have you ever experienced being super hungry and having food noise? That's the same type of thing that I deal with my mental. They say I have borderline schizophrenia with schizotypical type 2 bipolar. So what I have, it comes with stress. You know, if I get stressed, then I start getting agitated. And then when I was young, I had a, you know, a lot of traumatic things that I've talked about before in stream happen. So I kind of built this imaginary place that I could go to, and in that place I was untouchable. So I haven't used that kind of mechanism in a long time, but the other day I found myself having so much anxiety and so much anxiousness that I was telling myself, just go to your place, just go to the place, you know, and and from there on, then I started hearing the voices again, you know, that were inside my head. And it's a scary thing, and it's not something that I enjoy telling people about it, but mental health is very important. You know, I do see a psychiatrist every month, and I do see a doctor every month, and, you know, they're monitoring my medication and all that. But sometimes the things just get wacko, you know, out of whack. And it's either my testosterone with this or with that, and I need to get rebalanced. So I think it's about time that I get my meds restructured again, because what's going now is I'm constantly tired, and I should be upbeat and ready to go, and I just don't feel the greatest. So, and like I said, I have a lot of noises, food noises, voices, and things like that are telling me to do things. And I've been, like, if your own body is telling you you're a piece of shit and they hate you and you're not never going to amount to anything, and that's something that's so serious that we need to take a long look at. I don't take any medications for my bipolar. I've dealt with it so long that I know what's real and what ain't, but sometimes it just gets exhausting. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I feel like Forrest Gump over here. Sorry about that, everybody. But whoever's listening, I do apologize. Well, we were going to look at something, but obviously that's not the case. I'll have to look at it. It's like clavicular. I heard something about clavicular. He owns a bar or nightclub, and that he's part owner in or whatever. And he does a lot of shooting of his videos there. And it's like every night there's fights that break out there. So it's a super hype club, and it must be that there's a lot of people that go there and film. But there's an article that says Clavicular says he smashed his own face with a hammer to reshape his jawline when he was growing up, and it's paying off in the form of a harem. So he has like a harem full of women. The Looks Maxing streamer was on Impulsive podcast when he stated telling Logan Paul and Mike Majak how he worked on his physical traits as a teenager. I mean, I don't know what the hell he's thinking. I mean, he's not, I guess, I don't know. I know you hate to judge men, but he seems like he's a decent looking human being, but he's got some problems. Nobody smashes their face with a hammer and says that they're living in a sane reality, because that shit is just retarded. What I'm really trying to get at is there has to be some reform to prevent these people from doing this to our children. I'm tired of all these books that are in these schools that are total perversion and gay and all this other stuff. Like, oh, we want a book in a kindergarten room that says, yes, he slowly slid his penis into me, and I gasped for air as the pain in the, what the, I just had a brain aneurysm thinking about that stuff being in any school. If you want to have health, then you explain that stuff in health class, but you make sure they get a permission slip to attend it, because some of that stuff, just basic health is fine, right? But if you want to show people about homosexuality and all that stuff, get their parents' permission. And all the shit that you're doing without their permission, like not letting the parents know that their identities are changing and all this stuff, where in the hell has America gone to? So what else do we got going on in the news? Looks like, Senator Rand Paul. He's a rhino, isn't he? He's one big old horn some bitch. Kentucky Senator Rand's son has issued an apology after he unloaded on New York Congressman Mike Lawler with an anti-Semitic and homophobic tirade Tuesday night. William Paul went off on a drunken rant at a D.C. bar when he butted into a conversation with a Republican lawmaker having with someone else, the New York Post reports. So obviously this guy's drunk and it's like, you know what? I'm Rand Paul's son, and screw you homos and all you DC and you progressive people are ruining our country. You dummy. Lawyer Lawler told the Post William began asking if he was Jewish, and from that stellar start, he brought up the Iran war, reportedly saying this war is all about the gays and the Jews. I hate them both. I don't care. Yeah, don't get me started on this Iran war, man. I'm telling you, I'm so very pissed off about this war and our prices that we have to pay. Like, I just went shopping the other day. I got a few things, $170. $170 for a couple days of groceries. I'm like, damn. Donald Trump, I mean, I know that you have the capabilities of being a good president, and I do think that you are. I just think that whoever's in your circle that's telling you that this is a good idea to do this with Iran is wrong. We need to get the hell away from Iran. We need to let the Middle East be the Middle East and stop trying to change the world when you got everything at home you need to worry about. Worry about us first before you start changing the world. worried about lowering our prices. We got devastating shit happening here on our own soil. We got people killing each other. We got immigration problems. We got lack of funding for things. You know, you've cut funding right down to the bare bones. People can barely get by. How are people supposed to live if you keep cutting the necessary things? I do understand that there's fraud and everything else, but you can't put that on everybody else. That's like saying, yeah, Jimmy here, he committed fraud, so the whole class has to stay after and do homework. No, Jimmy's ass is staying after and doing homework. So punish them. Don't punish the rest of us for what a few are doing. And this shit's probably been going on forever. You know what? I don't even believe anything in the news anyway. It's all a bunch of bullshit. If you look at it, I mean, let's just go through it and look at the glaring differences between the newses. You know, you got to find the right news outlet to find anything that's even remotely worth watching, because it's just all a bunch of shit, you know, and I get so sick of it, you know, time after time, you know, it's just crazy. But yeah, Mike Horn, he was a bodybuilder, just found out that his cause of death was cardiac arrest. So Mike Horn dies of cardiac arrest. Interesting story. Taking TRT myself, I've kind of gotten some of heart issues with it, where I've always had like a heart murmur and erratic heartbeat or whatever it is, but it's kind of exacerbated that if I take too much. And then, you know, I've been kind of tired lately, kind of fighting that off. But what I wanted to talk about is the card on Netflix that's coming up this weekend. That'll be the next time you guys see me, is I'll be streaming for the Ronda Rousey fight. Let you guys kind of have little bits and pieces of it.
I just returned to MMA or want to go with your hairstyle?
Why not, man? Bring a little bit of my youthfulness back. People say the Mohawk was a story in MMA. I'm coming back to MMA, and I just
talking about his hair. It's pretty sweet.
Rocking it. I got hair any other day of the week. It doesn't matter how I style it. I'm be closer to punching him in the face.
What do you expect from Nate, right? He's a bit of a slow start.
Shit on his arm.
Durable. He stays there the entire time.
Now the next thing you're gonna have to do is just make them just black patches, I guess. A lot of people are doing that. But see, even Willow Harper, he's got so many tattoos that her cover-ups got cover-ups. So now it's like this new thing that they're just like
I'm gonna get in there and get it going. But I don't care if you can, if you got durability, I can hit.
Yeah, I think it's been a long day, a long stream with that. It is 9 o'clock. I think right here I'm gonna probably call it a day. You guys enjoy yourself. Have a good day. The next time you guys see me will be Saturday. It'll be the fights. I'm going to show you a little bit of this MMA promo coming up. Here we go.
One night. No mercy.
Saturday at 9 o'clock. It's this Saturday at 9 o'clock. We're going to start stream right at 9. Maybe a little to get it set up. I'm going to guess, but if not, that'll be fine too. We got Diaz versus Mike Perry, Ronda Rousey versus Carano, and Lynn's versus Ngannou. And them three are the headliners, so can't wait.
And the last edition
show you a little bit of what they got going on right now. They're doing kind of open workouts. Is he on that card? This guy right here. I remember he was in the UFC. They call him Bruce Leroy. That's what he almost looks like him. And he might be. He might be on that card. He might have got cut by the UFC. I'm not sure. Well, look at this guy. Does anybody think Jeremy Lins has
Week
chances
leading
of
up to
beating
Saturday, the
Nagano?
big night. It's about to go down.
We got the main event is Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carrera. Nate Diaz, Mike Perry, Francis Ngannou, and Philip Lins. Then you got Saladin Parnasse against Kenneth Cross. We got Namfo Fazil against Jacob Fabian. Andrew Morales against Fumi Kanuta. We got Jason Jackson against Jefferson Creighton. David McGoyan against Albert Morales. Aline Pereira, I think that's the sister of Alex Pereira. Yes, I do believe so. Maybe Jade Master Wong. Chris Avila, he's one of Diaz's boys against Brandon Jenkins. So that rounds out that whole card. That's a super card for these players right here. And if that whole card goes good on Netflix, man, to the moon, Alice. I'm telling you what, that's going to be something. That's going to be something. That's going to be a great card. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to see it. It's probably time to get on down the road here. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Man, I'm tired. I got to get myself activated and stimulated, dedicated, and ready to go do biceps and back and buys. So until the next time, like I said, 9 o'clock on Saturday. So big love. Take care of yourself. Be straight. We'll catch you on the flip side. Remember, 9 o'clock on Saturday. Peace, love, and gratitude. We out of here.